Hi everyone, welcome back to the Honey Reads. My name is Mary if you're new here, and today we have an exciting but long video ahead of us. So as you can probably tell by the title, I have quite the book haul for you guys. It is a collective book haul and it is a unique one because I did go to a Penguin Random House book sale this past weekend, and the sale prices on these books are fabulous. So I have a family friend that works for Penguin, so twice a year they have a book sale, and they stopped them for about 3 years, and they started them up again this year. And so I got to go on the weekend, and I got 2 boxes of books for about $100, which is crazy because nowadays books go for at least $20 most of the time in Canada. So lots of exciting stuff. And then behind me, I have a bunch of books from March that I bought when Indigo had a couple sales, and I also went thrifting. So yeah, lots of books. I don't think I've ever bought this many books before. But all that to say, we've got a lot of great books to read and a lot of great books to talk about. So I will not be going into much depth about each of these books. All of them I bought because I want to read them. So I might be reiterating that as I pick up books and get excited about them, but they're all bought because either they're on my TBR, or they sounded good, or they are on a reading list that I am following for the year. This is excessive, I know, but I love reading. It's my favorite hobby ever. And yeah, so soon I'm going to have to do an unhaul because I need to find space for all of these books, and both my bookshelves are full. So I'm going to do an unhaul and just take a look at the books that I've read that I don't love. I could donate so someone else can enjoy them. Without further ado, let's get into this very, very exciting but probably long haul. So the first books that I'm going to be talking about are the ones that I bought in mostly, I believe, March, maybe into April. So this is either from Indigo or from Goodwill, or Costco. I might have a couple in there from Costco. I do have one book that I know I'm missing, and it is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I lent it out to my best friend to read, so I don't have that one here, but I did buy the hard copy of that book and read it. Fantastic book. The first book I have here is Kate Chopin's The Awakening. This is a part of the Game of Tomes book club this year, so that is coming up in the next, I think, 4 months. Next, I got a copy of Don Quixote by Cervantes. This I already have a copy of in the Macmillan collections, but those is not very great for reading, and also I've heard this is a better translation, so I got that to read this year. It's a part of my 23 and 2023. I gotta talk faster because if I'm spending like a minute on each book, we're gonna be here for like 3 hours. Next, I got The Count of Monte Cristo, another book that I want to hopefully read this year. Not sure because it is a chunky one, but very, very excited. And I'm very disappointed because this does not match any of my other copies. Indigo just really did me dirty. Those ones I got at Indigo. The next classic I also got was Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. So this is this month's book choice for the Game of Tomes book club, and it was also a part of the Ben McAvoy's book club. I'm drawing a blank here. They just finished reading this, so I'll be picking this up probably next week, I think. So really, really excited. I'm looking forward to this. And I at first was not obsessed with this cover, but now I like it. Next, I got a bunch of books from Indigo's sale when they had buy two get one free manga and teen. They're kind of all over the place, but you will see a theme of those books. So my boyfriend actually picked me up the first two in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series because I loved this series so much, but I listened to them both via audiobook, and I really, really wanted to have my own copies of them. So I am so excited. Love these two. Can't wait for the third book to come out later this year, and I already pre-ordered it. And so I think I'm going to do a reread of these two before that one comes out in, I believe, September. Then I've got The Cruel Prince, a part of that sale. Really looking forward to reading this. Heard really, really great things. Along with that, I got Legendborn as well, because I've heard fantastic things about this series. I actually started this in a vlog, I think a month or so back, but I kind of got distracted and picked up other books along the way, so I have to get back to this one. Then I got the first book in the Six of Crows duology. Very excited to pick this up. I just have to read the last book in the prior series, Shadow and Bone series, Ruin and Rising. That's the one I haven't read yet, but I bought this because I know a lot of people love this series more than the other one. And again, a part of that sale, there was manga included, so we went ahead and got a bunch. I think with my memory, these are the ones that we did buy, but I might be missing a couple, hopefully not. But I got the, I guess, not the first one, but the prequel in the Jujutsu Kaisen series. I thought this was the first one, but it is not. You actually apparently want to read number one, so I need to buy number one, but very, very excited to start this. I know Throne of Pages loves this series, so I'm very excited for it. Then I got volume 3 for Spy Family. I've read the first one. We have the second one. I just haven't read it yet, but I know I'm probably going to want to continue this series, so I got number 2. Then we got Chainsaw Man 3, 4, and 5. This is my boyfriend's current favorite manga. Then I got Frederick Bachman's The Deal of a Lifetime. So this is a short story collection of his. We all know how much I love Frederick Bachman. So excited to pick this up. I know I will cry, so I'm going to pick a certain day to read through this series when I really am feeling it. But yeah, very, very excited for this. I think for the most part, the rest of these are thrifted from Goodwill when they had a 50% off sale in, I believe, end of March. To go quick, I got Aristotle's I cannot say this for the life of me, and I tried many times saying this, and I'm not going to try it. The Ethics by Aristotle. I got this one from my boyfriend. You'll see I got a lot of different kind of philosophical books. They are mostly for him because he enjoys them, so that was for him. Then I got some Shakespeare, got Romeo and Juliet. I actually got another version of this that matches other copies I have at the book sale, so you'll see that. And I got Antony and Cleopatra. Then I got A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. Sorry for butchering that. Author of The Kite Runner. Very excited. Heard this is fantastic. I'm shocked I haven't read it yet. Then I got The Scarlet Letter, another classic, have not read before. It's very short, so hopefully I'll read this in the fall time. I think it's giving me fall vibes, so hoping that I will pick that up this coming year. I'm already like losing my voice. I'm sorry if I get raspy. The next book I got was Girl with the Pearl Earring. Again, this is a book I've heard fantastic things from, and I believe it turned into a movie or a show. I'll have to double check that, but yeah, I was just very intrigued. The next book I got was Ernest Hemingway's Green Hills of Africa, and I believe this is one of his, if not his only nonfiction, about basically the time that he visited East Africa, I believe. So I've heard it was pretty good. I'm interested in reading it, and I actually have another Ernest Hemingway in this kind of collection, so that's exciting. I like when I can get things that match together. Then, you guys, I don't think you guys know this about me, but I found 2 books in this series, Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging. I was obsessed with this series when I was in high school or middle school. I don't remember, probably both. Loved the series. My sister owned the whole series, and I reread them so many times. Loved them so much. And so I found the first book, and I think this is the third one, Knocked Out by My Nunga Nungas. But yeah, Hopefully I can find the whole collection through thrifting, or maybe I can get a steal of the whole collection as a whole. But I got a lot of books that I loved as a teen, and I want to like reread all of them for a video. I think that would be so much fun. Next book I got was The Witch of Portobello by Paulo Coelho. Again, another book that I heard really fantastic things about, so looking forward to that. The next book is The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner. So you'll also see a lot of these books are a part of the Rory Gilmore reading list. I am obsessed with the Gilmore Girls. I have been since I believe I was 13, and any book that I find that is part of that list I do buy, because I am trying to get through that list. Maybe I can do like a vlog about like reading books from that list and seeing if I like Rory Gilmore's vibes. Or Jess's. I want to do Jess's reading list. I think that would be more interesting. But yeah, so that's why I bought that. Next book I got was Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Again, heard amazing things. This one really caught my eye, and it just kept catching my eye, and then I looked into like what it's about, and I saw so many good reviews, so I picked it up. And it is a constellation of vital phenomena. The writing is hard to read. But yeah, isn't this just a gorgeous cover? Gorgeous. And I got a couple classics that is part of this specific collection of classics, or these editions. I got Fathers and Sons, The Good Soldier, and Northanger Abbey. I do already have Northanger Abbey, but I like this edition better. No shame, I really enjoy the look of certain books, so I will buy them even though I already own them. This is again another book that I enjoyed so much as a kid, a series of unfortunate events. The first in the collection, The Bad Beginning. I want to definitely start collecting these books, but I only found the first one. But I remember loving this series. Next book I got was Middlesex. This is another book that is a part of the Rory Gilmore reading list. And yeah, I love this cover. The next book I found was The Girl Who Drank the Moon at the thrift store. Beautiful, but I heard really nice things about this book, and I believe it won a medal. I know this is a middle grade, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. Oh, and then I got The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. Again, I thought it was like book one in the Chronicles of Narnia series, but I know The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the initial book one, and I meant to buy that for a upcoming video, so I bought this. I will read this, but it just was not the one I was looking for at the time. Then I got this again. I bought it, just I like put it in my cart and I was like, do I really need this? But such an eye-catching book. I love it. It is Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. I know it turned into a movie, but yeah, I really like the cover and I think the premise is fascinating. The next book, I cannot for the life of me remember if I read this book, and I swear I owned it, and I don't know if I donated it because I couldn't find it on my shelves. Maybe I like lent it out to someone, but I got The Time Traveler's Wife. I know my Goodreads says I read it. I don't remember anything about it. The next book I got is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the volume 1. I believe it has like 3 of the first 3 in this series. In this collection, but I guess someone got to chapter 6 and said nope. But I got this. I've always wanted to read Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love my vampire stories. It's like a little thing that I enjoy reading, and so I picked that up so that I could read the collection. The next book I got was 100 Years of Solitude. I know this was a part of my Indigo haul. I have seen so many of this book at the thrift store at BMV, but I wanted this specific cover, and so I waited for a sale at Indigo and then I bought it. But I'm really looking forward to reading this. I know Emma from Emmy here on YouTube praises this book, so I'm looking forward to finally picking it up. The next book I got is a chunky one, and I've heard mixed things about it, but I did want to pick it up just to see what everyone's talking about. And it is The Priory of the Orange Tree. I've heard even though it is 800 pages, it's very fast to read because look at the margins. There's so much space. So yeah, but I am looking forward to it. Look, I already cracked the spine just by opening this book. That's crazy. I don't know when I'm gonna pick this up, but we will eventually. And then these next couple books I found in a little library near me. So the first one is Bel Canto by Anne Patchett, and this is a part of the Rory Gilmore reading list, so I picked it up. And then lastly, I got the whole To All the Boys I've Loved Before series. I just wanted to reread this series after so long and after watching the movies, but I never wanted to buy them because romance and things like YA romance too, I tend to donate after reading them. So I want to read these and then I don't know, we'll see if I keep them or not, but I was really excited to find this in a little library near me. Okay, those were the books that I bought and found in April. No, was it April or early March? I don't remember, sometime around that. And then I put myself on a book buying ban. And I was planning on staying to the book buying ban, but then found out about the book sale. So, you know, we had to adjust our plans to fit the sale in. Well, you see here, my boyfriend ran the Toronto Marathon last 2 weekends ago. And so he got a medal for it. And I basically told him if he finished the marathon, it was his first marathon, so for like motivation, I was like, if you finish it, I will run a half marathon with you next year. And he did. And so now I'm training because I have not ran long distance since 6 years ago. So it's been a rough training week. I started this past week and man, oh man, my legs are sore. There's not going to be any particular order for these. Mainly, I got collections of books and series. I got some nonfiction, but I mostly got fiction and a lot of romance. So typically, I found in the past, these sales are really good for finding classics, cookbooks, and nonfiction books. But this year, and I think it really shows you the change in the publishing industry, there was romance and recent romance. Usually there's not a lot of romance. If there are, it's like 50 Shades of Grey or a really well-known series. Just like different kind of romance, not modern romance, but my gosh, I was so thrilled with the collection of books that they had this year. Yeah, very, very excited for all of these. And some I've read, but I didn't own copies of, or they just had editions that I want to collect, so let's just get into it, I guess. The first book I just have here is a cookbook. It is Half Baked Harvest's Everyday Cookbook. It's her newest one. I cook here and there from Half Baked Harvest. I find a lot of her stuff is good, just a little bit heavier than the meals that we traditionally eat. But I really enjoyed this book, and I am already, I think like 3 of our meals this week are from this cookbook, so I will let you guys know what I think. But yeah, I got this, and I got my friends each a copy as well because we all love cooking. And so yeah, that's that. Then I'm just gonna pick and go with the books that I have here. The next book I got was My Hygge Home. My boyfriend and I are always talking about like the tradition of hygge and kind of making your home more cozy. I know Danish people really take on this type of living, and so we always look at these type of books at Indigo, but I could not, you know, fathom paying the price for them, unfortunately. There's just some books I don't want to pay full price for, and I was very thrilled to see this, so I'm excited to go through this and kind of see if we learn anything new. I guess I'm gonna try picking out my nonfiction, but here I got, this is not really a book, it's a sticker book, and they are just stickers of like floral stuff. So beautiful. I love flowers and anything that has to do with nature. So I thought this was so fun, and I could like add them to my reading journal or like to cards. Anyways, so I thought that was great. My sister also got this one. The next nonfiction we got is The Danish Way of Parenting. I'm not a parent yet, but I do love collecting parenting books, and especially of things that I want to, you know, envision myself as a parent. And again, with kind of yoga and Danish, I know very fascinated with their lifestyle and the way that they do life. So excited to pick this up. This children's book, or parenting book, The Whole Brain Child. My sister has this book and she said it's really good, so I got that. It's a short read. Next one we have is The Adaptogenic Herbal Kitchen. I love herbs. I think they're so magical and there's so much you can do with them, and I thought this book was really nice and just kind of like a cool way of introducing more herbs into my diet, and it looked very simple and informative, so that's that. Okay, I think that might be all of the nonfiction. I might be wrong, but we're just gonna go with it. Here I have a lot of romance. So I got the first two books in the Meant to Be series. So the first one, If the Shoe Fits, and then By the Book. I've heard great things about this series, so I'm looking forward to that. Then I got The Setup, another cute romance. Then I got Dial A for Aunties, which I've heard such fantastic things about, and I'm really excited for this. I know my friends are going to want to definitely borrow that once I'm done too. I got The Boy with the Bookstore. I mean, the title drew me in, and then it sounded like a cute, quirky book, and I mean, it's books and baking, which is like two of my favorite hobbies. So I got Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I've heard this is like been everywhere online, especially on TikTok, and I believe I didn't pick this up because people said it was similar to another book that I've already read. It's kind of blanking my mind right now, but I thought I would pick it up since it was there. Then I got a book that's actually on my TBR, and it is Lizzie and Dante. I heard about this from Noelle Gallagher on YouTube, and it's been on my TBR since, so I think it's like been 2 years, but I was so excited to see that. I got Sophie Kinsella's The Party Crasher. Very cute, and I mean, she's not an auto-buy author, but every book I've read by her has been good, so I thought, why not? The next book I got was Salman Rushdie's Victory City. He's kind of like an author that I collect his books from, because the ones I have read I did enjoy. Same with my boyfriend. So I got this book. I tried sticking to only paperbacks because I'm not a very big hardback person, but I couldn't pass up paying like the price for this, because if I'm going to want to buy it eventually, this would have been $35. So then I found a couple of the Penguin Black Classics. So we've got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Then we've got Frankenstein. We've got Frankenstein. When I read Frankenstein in high school, I didn't enjoy it, but I think I might enjoy it now. So I bought it to kind of see if I'll actually like it. And I had such a beautiful copy in high school, but I didn't like it so much that I donated it. Regrets. And then I got Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Next, I got one of the Penguin cloth-bound classics, The Lonely Londoners by Sam Salvon. At the end of the sale, I just kind of quickly glanced over at one section and someone put this book away, and I was like, that's such a steal, and I've heard this is a really good book. Then we've got Shame by Salman Rushdie. I got 2 Charles Dickens, but I think the other one is in the next box, but I got Hard Times. Charles Dickens is like another author that I kind of auto buy from anytime I don't have a copy of one of his books and it goes on sale. I usually buy it. Then I got Macbeth, which, no, okay, I don't have this one yet. Not in an edition that I've ever seen before, but again, couldn't pass it up. Then I got Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? This is something I haven't read yet, but it has been on my TBR, so that was a great find. The next book I got is Lincoln in the Bardo. This really just caught my eye, and I saw it had a bunch of like awards on it, so I was like, okay, I'll trust it. And then I looked it up, and there was good reviews, but now looking at it, I'm very, very confused about what this is. I guess we'll see. Then I got E.M. Forster's A Passage to India. I also am collecting all of E.M. Forster's books. The next book I got for my boyfriend, but I think I might even read this because it sounds fantastic. And I tried saying this title like 7 times yesterday, but I could not figure it out. But it's Basic Writings of Existentialism. Anyways, it sounds fascinating and has a lot of different authors in here, like Fyodor Dostoevsky, Albert Camus, Friedrich Nietzsche, so I think it would be a very fascinating read. Next book I got is Octavia E. Butler's Kindred. I've heard a lot of praises of Octavia Butler by Books by Emily Fox, I believe is her name. And so when I saw this, I had to pick it up. Then I found Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This is one of my favorite books of last year, and I listened to the audiobook, but I definitely am looking forward to having a copy of it to lend it out to friends or to reread whenever I want to. The next book, I'm so happy I have held off on buying this book because I found it here. There were so many books that I saw that I bought in the past year at the sale, and I was like, wow, if only I had the patience to wait. But I got Pure Color. Heard fantastic things about this. Next book I also heard really great things about, and it's Night Crawling. I mean, this cover is also beautiful. Not happy that it's a hardback, but what can you do, you know? Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your preferences for a good deal. The next book I got is Greenwood by Michael Christie. Again, this is something I saw the cover of, and then I saw the spine, or not the spine, but like the pages. It's like a tree stump, and instantly I was like, I need this. And it is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like a wartime, but it is in a part of like the Depression era in the 1930s, so I'm excited to read this. Sorry if the angle changed. I got a text and then my phone stopped recording. The last 3 books we have in this box is Kazuo Ishiguro's The Remains of the Day. He is also an author that I've been just collecting his books. I think I have oh, they're up here. I have The Buried Giant and Never Let Me Go. Then I got John Green's new book, which is crazy. Oh, it's a signed edition. Where's it signed? That's so cool. The Anthropocene Reviewed. I've heard really great things about this book, and so I was really excited to see this. I haven't read anything from John Green since high school, so, but I know it's like more of like an essay collection, so I think we'll be fine. And then the last book in this box is The Bandit Queens, which I'm so excited about. I've heard great things about this. It's been on my radar, and I was so close to buying it like a month ago at Costco because I saw it there for a pretty good deal. I think it was like $16, but I didn't, and I'm very happy I held back. Moving on, we've got another Penguin Classics. We got Hippocratic Writings. I got this again for my boyfriend. Then we've got the next copy of Romeo and Juliet. So I have a couple, I don't think you can see it here, but I have the same collection. I have Hamlet and King Lear, so I wanted to get a copy that matched. So I'll just put that there. This one I'm so excited for. I got Junji Ito's Dissolving Classroom for my boyfriend. He loves Junji Ito's mangas, so I was so excited because we don't have this one yet. Then I got Jane Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. We do have a copy of this, but it is my boyfriend's copy, so I kind of wanted my own. And it also is a Penguin Classics, and the one that we own is a different copy, I believe. Then I got this for my boyfriend. He loves Cormac McCarthy, and that is No Country for Old Men. So I saw a lot of Cormac McCarthy there. I saw Blood Meridian, which we already own. I think it's actually right there. But yeah, just such great things. And then I know I said I owned Hamlet. I thought I didn't, so I got it. But you know what? That's okay. I love this cover. Look at that. Beautiful, like, ugh. And I love Hamlet. Such a great play. Then I got, speaking of books I already own, Charles Dickens' David Copperfield. I already talked about this in prior vlogs. I have a copy of David Copperfield that I found in a little library. It's a very old copy, and I was debating on buying the Penguin English Library edition, but I decided not to because David Copperfield has not been my favorite read. But then I saw this and I was like, you know what? I will buy this because I want to still own David Copperfield. It's just, I didn't really want to spend like more than a couple dollars basically on a copy. So yeah, I found this one. We're almost there. Then I found The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, another author that I just buy all of her books that I don't own. Then we've got Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. I believe this is also a part of the Rory Gilmore reading list. And this cover, stunning. Then the last book I have, you'll see I have now collections of books. The last singular book I got is Tales from Shakespeare by Charles and Mary Lamb. Like, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't even know what this is about, but I don't even care because I saw this cover and I was like, I need to have it. Spices here. Next we have just a bunch of collections of books that I found. So they had like box sets. So the first one I got is a book talk set, but it had a couple books in here that I've been wanting to read. So A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and We Were Liars kind of attracted me. And then there's also House of Salt and Sorrows and The Gilded Ones. I haven't heard of these two. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this up, but this was one of the box sets that I found. Next, Spice is sitting on them now. She loves sitting in boxes, so as soon as there's any room in a box, she's in there instantly. Next one, oh, I'm excited for this, except I'm kind of weary because I don't know if I'm going to like this series, but I only found the books in these box sets, so I said, okay, I have to. And it is the whole Dune collection. So I guess I'm starting Dune. But yeah, this whole collection was a part of the sale, so I got it. This copy, like, it was already like ripped here, but I couldn't find a better one, so I just stuck to this one. And I got a lot of Attack on Titan. The last book sale I started collecting this series, and then this book sale they had a bunch of the ones that we don't own yet. So I got 9 to 12, 18 to 22, and 29 to 34. So I believe I own 13 to 17 and also 23 to 28. And then we have the first one, so now I have to get 2 to 8, but it's just such a steal when I can find them at these sales because these run for a lot of money. And I saved the best for last. In my opinion, the best for last. And it is a penguin cloth bound box of all of the Bronte sisters books. I believe all of them. So we've got Villette by Charlotte Bronte, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and The Tenant of Wilfrid Hall by Anne Bronte. I couldn't pass it up. My sister also found another set of these. It was like 8 books of other classics. There was like Jane Austen and all this stuff in there, but we couldn't find a second one. But my gosh, I would have been happy if I only bought this. We made it. So those were all the books that I bought in the past 2 months. Again, very excessive. For the most part, all of these books are ones that I had on my radar and I've been looking forward to reading or really interested in picking up. And some of them were books that I never knew of, but I found out about, you know, whenever I was browsing. Either way, I am so thankful and grateful, you know, to be able to go to book sales and to be able to go to thrift stores and find such amazing deals on books. I don't even know how many books this is, and I don't want to count. Maybe I can count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That was 113 books. Last year I only read 116 books, so theoretically I could read these all in a year. I don't know what else to say. It's a lot of books, but I hope you guys got some enjoyment out of this. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them, what I should start with, what I shouldn't start with. Give me all your thoughts below, and too many more reading vlogs ahead. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead, and I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.